Yep.
So my question I have for you is, there's these different types of clinics. When you were working just with these integrated clinics, what would make someone a good fit and what would make someone not a fit to work with Patient Stream?
Okay. Yeah. So, and this is not anything against my chiropractors, but really our big thing is if all they're promoting is straight chiropractic, when it comes to marketing, it's not a fit. And the reason is because a tactic known is a tactic blown. And companies like The Joint is an example of this. They went out and they did this mass market promotion where it's like, hey, if you want to get in on a membership for adjustments, it's 50, 60 bucks a month, whatever it is. They set the prices, not us. So what the public knows is really what matters. And so if somebody comes in and they're only chiropractic, we can't take them on. Okay. And it's not them, it's not us, it's the market. The market has a pulse on what they think about that type of clinic. Just is what it is. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. However, as soon as they layer in at least one of our niche specific conditions, they can do spinal decompression and chiropractic. Just understanding you're going to get better qualified, better people from your spinal decompression, and you can do chiropractic too, but you're going to get better people from spinal decompression. Okay. So the first disqualifier is, do you only service chiropractic patients? That's number one. Number two is new patient volume. Now, I can be flexible on new patient volume with nuance, but if a clinic, the average chiropractic case value is between $1,000 to $1,500. So if you say, how many new patients are you getting in a month? And they say 5, ooh, that means this person is broke. Okay. And we want to help broke people, but they need to get their practices up to a point to where they're getting 20 new patients per month. And they should be able to get 20 new patients per month without marketing. Okay. This is referral based, whatever, business to business relationships and referrals. They should be able to do that without us. Our job is to come in at 20 new patients and go to 40, 50, 60 new patients. That's where we come in. So that's the second disqualifier is if they're doing less than 20 new patients per month, the timing isn't right. It's not for us yet. Now, sometimes when I say there's nuance, if it's a practice owner that's like, hey, I've got a practice, but I'm starting up a new one, great. Or if it's a practice owner, I've got an infusion of cash. Okay. Like I've got an investment. I'm taking out a loan. I know marketing needs to be a big piece of this. I've been working for another high volume clinic or whatever for a while. Okay. Well, then that makes sense. You have the capital to not obsess and dwell over your marketing dollars for the first, because the worst thing is to get somebody in and they don't have the money and they put out the money. And 30 days later, they're like, they're freaking out. And you're thinking, we're doing our job. We're doing everything we do for other clinics. Why are you freaking out when they are not? I mean, the smell of desperation is real, and we just can't help those people as much as we want to. That's the other thing is I know all you guys have big hearts and you want to help every single person. They got to stand on their own 2 feet before we can help them and before we can blow them up.
I can tell you right now, marketing will only magnify your business. So if you got a solid business, marketing will blow it up. If you got a leaky bucket, it's going to show it that even more. And so to Sam's point, the person that is only getting 4 new patients a month, if you were fixing everyone that walked in your door, truly getting them results, they'd be coming in. And so you might need to learn a little bit before you earn. You might need to find some of that time to really refine your processes, because if we add gasoline to your fire, it's going to burn the house down. And I'm honest to say, I've ruined businesses because we've sent too many people in their door and they weren't ready for it. So you don't want to do that. Plus, if you're meeting with someone and that's your last chance at paying rent, are you going to really take care of them the way you need to take care of them? And the answer is probably not.
No, I always say too, we're not a vending machine, right? We do a part of this transaction. We don't throw Hail Marys, even though we have thrown Hail Marys, right? But it wasn't us throwing. Our tool is able to throw a Hail Mary, right? But if somebody comes in, they're like, this is my last chance. It's like, you're going to use our tool and our system where others win and succeed with it. You're going to fail with it because your mindset and the resources you have, at your fingertips. And that's not a good fit for us, right? We win by helping people. We win by getting outcomes and results. Those multiply, but the opposite also multiplies, right? Oh, they couldn't do anything. It's like, well, hold on. You were throwing a Hail Mary, remember?
Now I'm curious because I know we've found some different things in our space, and obviously we're joining forces now. We're all one patient stream, but what about staffing? Is a one-man show necessarily eliminated, or can someone do it? Like, because we've found that we typically get better results when someone's got that admin or that MA. How about on the chiropractic side, or the
Yeah, that's a great question. They have to have a front desk at least. But if they don't have a front desk and at least one assistant, it's a red flag, right? So single practitioners, no, it's not going to work. Generally, we like to see a front desk staff member, okay, and the doc.
And for everyone watching again, I want to sound mean because like some of you are just starting, and like we'd love to help you, but if you are not busy enough to afford an assistant to help make you busier, it's going to be tough. And the other problem we see is when you don't have that staff person, if you are trying to between patients, text, call, work with the people that we're sending you, it's not going to work. It's just because the volume we're going to turn for you is insane, and you're just probably not ready for it. Just being transparent on that. Now, that's another question I have on availability. How much availability would someone need to really have patient stream come in and build their integrated clinic? Do they need to be 6 days a week, 2 days a week? Like, what have you guys seen the best results from?
They got to have availability every day. And that comes down to the rule of 3, right? So the rule of 3, you get a lead today. If you don't get that lead into your clinic within 3 days, the chance of them actually coming in is something crazy, like 1 or 2%. It's nothing. And so some of these docs who are like, hey, I'm available on Mondays and Fridays. It's like, then you clearly don't need marketing. You're full, you're good. Right. We need availability every day. And I can get on board with a doc that wants to maybe put a gap in there, maybe on a Wednesday or something like that, because we still have flexibility. But I can't do the 2 days a week thing or even 3 days a week. It's not we're here to grow practices, not to like supplement some, because if we're supplementing practices, it's a matter of time before they're like, okay, well, we've got some supplementation, the ROI is fine, but it's not blowing us out of the water. It's like, well, we can only fill 1 day of the week for you. So availability is very important, and we like to see daily, Monday through Friday.
And guys, I'll just tell you this, I said this on another webinar with a different company, but we want to work with people who are invested in their business. And like for us on the medical side, if someone's still at the hospital part-time, like nothing against it, not saying you couldn't do it with a staff, but if this is your side hobby, cool, but we're going to partner with you. Like we're going to come alongside you. We're going to invest in you, train in you. And just like you wouldn't want a patient to come in and like just be there for 20 minutes and not follow any of your care plan after, like they're not going to get a good outcome, right? You wouldn't take that patient if they're not going to do what you say. You wouldn't want the same thing with us. And we want to make sure that we're going to get you the outcome that we promise, but we know what that takes. And so we want to make sure you're conditioned for that.